This week in East Brunswick, the Boy Scouts of America displayed some of their many talents at the East Brunswick Square Mall. First up, we'll see some of that talent in action. Also on this week, John Meggiolaro will interview high school winter sports coaches Bachman, Mangieri, and Sante. Carol Merle will create a party platter with fruit on Gourmet Cooking the Easy Way, and on Consumer Aware, Mary Tenaccio will talk about that prize vacation offer that seems too good to be true. Finally, on our Township Council Review, we'll take a brief look at Tuesday's council session. All coming up on This Week in East Brunswick. This is the Jazz Experience, one of the recent programs sponsored by the East Brunswick Arts Commission. Throughout the year, the Commission has sponsored a film series, several exhibits, and many special programs. The next program will be a lecture on photographic techniques, next Wednesday at the library. The Arts Commission will be publishing its new program listing soon. For further information, call 390-6825. Saturday, Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts filled the concourse of the Brunswick Square Mall with displays relating to all aspects of scouting. Steve Spiro of Pack 16 explained the event and gave us a quick tour.
Every February, Scouts have an anniversary celebration. Usually in this district, we have a mall show. We've been at Brunswick Square Mall for several years. The units have their own events. There was a show at Woodridge Mall last week. There are events all over the country to celebrate what scouting is doing in the United States. Here, the approximately 30 units will be demonstrating many skills. Troop 132 from East Brunswick here has a display of camping set up right here in the mall. Down the hall, there's a Cub Scout pack with a Pinewood Derby track. They have 5-ounce model cars that race down a track, gravity driven, of course. There's a Cub Scout pack with a demonstration of ice rescue. There are 2 units of police explorers here, work with the East Brunswick and Edison police departments, learning police skills. There's a demonstration of handicapped awareness merit badge by a merit badge counselor who gives a demonstration of what it's like to be blind and how to speak in the sign language of the deaf. There's a marvelous display of Scout Religious Awards put on by Murray Wolfson from the Jewish Committee on Scouting for the Thomas Edison Council. There's an 85-year-old Scoutmaster from Perth Amboy with an incredible display of hand-carved totem poles and Kachina dolls, most of which he has done throughout his own life. Some of the things he has on display are 50 years old.
1984 is the 74th anniversary of scouting in the United States. So next year, we look forward to celebrating 3/4 of a century of scouting with a new collection of interesting and informative exhibits. Now let's join John Meggiolaro in the studio.
Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro for This Week in East Brunswick. Tonight we conclude our review of the East Brunswick High School winter sports by welcoming as our guests Gil Mangieri, head coach of the boys and girls bowling team, Betty Bachman, head coach of the girls and boys swimming team, and Tom Sante, head coach of the boys wrestling team. Coaches, welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. I know it's somewhat late in the season, but I think it's important that our audience get to know, the respective teams and the kids that are participating. So, Gil, if you would, start off with the boys and girls bowling team. How are they doing thus far?
Well, the boys in conference, we're third position. We're 3.5 games from the top.
Mm-hmm.
We're just winding up bowling out of conference now. The next match, which is Thursday, winds up that bowling out of conference, and then next Tuesday we'll go back into conference again.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can put together some consistency, I'm optimistic that we have a shot at a championship.
Great.
The girls, unfortunately, don't have the kind of competitive abilities, but they have a lot of fun bowling. we're well down in the conference and we have no chance for any championship or anything.
Yeah. Gil, you're the only coach for the bowling team.
That's correct, yes.
The girls and boys bowl together?
Yes, they bowl in the same day, in the same lanes, yes.
Okay. Gil, if you would run down some of those members of the respective teams.
Well, on the boys' team, we have Kevin Curley, a senior, and Jimmy Forgreave, Jim Petrosky, they're two seniors, Larry Gerard, another senior, Bobby Fass, a junior, and Pete Wetzel, mostly our starters, and then we're substituting. We're carrying about 12 students on the squad. The girls, we're a little short. We could use 7 or 8, but we only have about 5. Jody Cohn, Lori Glass, Janet Schwindinger, Beth Lieberman, and Monica Prasad. So we're a little short there on the girls.
I know last year when you were with us, Gil, you said that you know, you were looking for a greater turnout. Has it improved at all for bowling?
No, not among the girls. I don't know what the problem is at the high school. It doesn't seem to be an accepted sport. I think I mentioned that last year, as a matter of fact, John. The boys, we have no trouble. We have to turn them away. You have to cut. That's always, and the other coaches probably verify that, that's always a problem for a coach. They have to cut some students, say, hey, listen, you didn't make the squad. But you can only carry 12 or 13 in the bowling squad. We can only bowl 6. It's pretty heavy, a pretty heavy load. I would like to see 8 or 10 girls out there, but we just can't get them. I don't know. We've done a lot of things. We've advertised. We've put posters up on the corridors in the school. We've put it in the school bulletin. We've done everything but go out in the corridors and grab a student and say, hey, would you like to bowl? So maybe that's the next one. I don't know.
Gil, what kind of averages are these bowlers carrying?
Kevin Curley is about 183. Jimmy Forgreave, 178. And then we go down into the 160s. Most of them are anywhere from 163 to 168, the rest of the averages.
Just to put in perspective, what is the top high school bowler averaging about?
Well, Kevin Curley is 3rd in the league. The lead bowler from J.P. Stevens is about 188.
Oh, so he's not that far behind.
No, he's not that far behind. He had a couple of bad series. He tends to fight himself, Kevin does. When the lane conditions are not suitable to him or he gets a couple of bad breaks, he then tries too hard, in my estimation, and he tries to overcome those conditions instead of staying to the basics, and he forgets the basics, and then he has a really bad series, which affects his average, obviously.
Well, going from the hardwood of bowling to the water of swimming, Betty, how are your teams looking this year?
Well, both teams happen to be 8 and 6. That's just a coincidence. They've lost to different teams. The girls' record doesn't seem to indicate really how good they are. They lost a total of, I think it's 3 meets by a total of 5 points, so they were pretty close ones there. But they're young kids, so.
Yeah, are you still maintaining that traveling
Yeah, we're still
schedule?
going, every afternoon we're still going back and forth to the Y in New Brunswick and all around for meets.
How about running down your team rosters, please?
Okay, my girls, I have Valerie Strank. Valerie's a junior. Her sister Nancy Strank is a freshman. Jennifer Zahn is a sophomore. Emmy Phillips is a sophomore. Sue McNeil is a senior. I carry about 22, 23 girls. And then my boys team, Mike Steinberg's a junior. Jimmy Dickey's a senior. Brett Doty's a junior. Keith DiMatteo a junior. Tommy Letty's senior. And I have about 23 boys also. So I have 46, 47 kids.
And you're doing this on your own?
I have a diving coach.
Oh.
But basically, I have all these kids,
What's in store for these young people? I know that in the past your girls have done quite well and the boys are developing. What's ahead for you this coming season?
Well, we have 3 dual meets left. Thursday we go against St. Joe's. Our counties are at the end of the month, and hopefully we can come home with maybe 2 second places in the counties. North Brunswick has an extremely strong girls team this year.
Do they?
Yeah, they have 5 freshmen that came up that are unbeatable.
Yeah.
So we're hoping, got our fingers crossed.
Well, good. We move now to the wrestling mat, and we'd like to welcome Tom Sante as the new head coach at East Brunswick Wrestling, taking over for Paul Quirk. Tom, welcome, and if you would quickly give us a little background on yourself. You're new to many people, but you're not new to East Brunswick Wrestling.
No, I've been coaching at Churchill for 3 years before this year at the varsity. So I like to think that a lot of the young men on the team are my kids. although we have some fine additions to the team from the Hammersholt School also. A lot of people feel that because we lost the county meet this past weekend that we're having a down year. But the team we lost to, Madison, scored a record number of points in the 25 years that the tournament's been held, and we were just one match behind them, really. So they're really doing very well. At the beginning of the year, everybody picked Edison and Cedar Ridge to be the number 1 and 2 teams, with Madison and Sayreville and perhaps East Brunswick close behind. We broke out of the pack early in December and just stayed ahead of everybody until that fateful day when we met Madison. Not too many teams in wrestling get the opportunity to try again. And we will be trying again against Madison next week in the state sectional meet for this area. So we're
Which will
looking
be,
forward.
by the way, at East Brunswick High School again.
It will be at home again on Wednesday. Number 2, or as the papers are calling it, Rocky 4. They consider the tournaments the same, although they really aren't, because, as an example, Cedar Ridge is the team that beat us out of the county title because it was their young man that pinned our young man, and it really wasn't a Madison wrestler that did it. So in a tournament, anything like that can happen. I'm very proud of the team being so young. We have a lot of sophomores. Wrestling is a very grueling sport. Some people say it takes the 2 Ds, discipline and some other, what's the other D? I forget what it is, but desire. Discipline and desire, and it's a strong discipline, especially when you can't eat sometimes the night before a match because you have to maintain your weight by a pound or so. I don't like a lot of heavy weight loss, but the night before, some of the kids don't get to eat, and it's tough. We have seniors on the team: Trevor Lewis, Jimmy Doyle, Tony Kowal,
Some familiar names.
and Larry Clark, Scott Jennings, Bill Wallace, Mike Samsijan, John Stowinski, and Paul Decker, who has really... Paul Decker has never wrestled varsity before, and now that he has this year 3 times, he's undefeated. He's the only undefeated wrestler on our team. This is part of our plan. Our team wrestles a very, very tough schedule. We wrestle the top... We have already wrestled 8 of the top 10 teams in the state.
Wow.
And we will be wrestling the other 2, one on Saturday in Delaware Valley, and hopefully if we beat Madison next week, we will be wrestling Hunter and Central the following night.
Some schedule.
Right. We have some juniors on the team, Mitch Turk at heavyweight and Glenn Pazinko at 188, and Mike Slawinski, who's doing a fine job. Mike Birnbaum is on the team. Marty Steinberg has done a very admirable job. Then the sophomores. Our 100-pounder, we have 2 100-pounders, which is very unusual for sophomores to still be 100 pounds. Ronnie Goldberg and Darren Schulman. At 108, we have, which is 108 pounds, Jay Bode and Ray Fernandez. At 115, we have Phil Tanaccio. I forget his name. Then we have Tony Smith, Steve Hockman, Dan Canoni. I forgot to mention Jack Raker, who's always trying to break into the lineup. He's a junior. I guess that's about it. We're down to 26 on the team. And if Betty has to go to New Brunswick to swim, she should come into our wrestling room. We have a few puddles that might suffice.
Tom, I just want to mention that Trevor Lewis won the counties and is a county champ for East Brunswick.
Absolutely.
We're proud and pleased to mention that here.
Trevor was seeded first last year, and that's quite an honor, which was given to Jimmy Doyle this year, who was really earned it. And he only lost by a last 2 seconds in the final, so he ended up second. But with Trevor, he was seeded first last year, and it made him a little nervous. And he said to me this year, I don't want to be first. You know, if you can get me seated second, which is what I was able to do. A lot of people thought he should have been first.
Yeah.
But Vic Palazzi from Middlesex was undefeated, so we gave him first seed and Trevor second, and it held up, and then Trevor got his chance in the finals and really did a good job.
Great. Coaches, our time is up, and I want to thank you so much for coming out this evening, and continued success at East Brunswick High School with your respective programs. For This Week in East Brunswick, I'm John Meggiolaro. Good night.
Next week, John visits Central School. Gourmet cooking follows this announcement.
Hi, I'm Sue Rosenblatt for This Week in East Brunswick, and I've been asked to make a special announcement to all Jamaica High School graduates who live here in our town. I want you to know that Jamaica High School has contacted us to tell us that we're having a high school reunion. The high school reunion is scheduled to be May 12th of 1984, and we're asking all the 1963, 64, and 65 graduates to contact me so that I can get you an invitation to our reunion. Thanks for watching, and I hope if you have any friends that you know of that have graduated Jamaica High, you get in touch with them. We're looking forward to seeing a lot of old faces.
Welcome back to Gourmet Cooking the Easy Way, filmed here at our kitchen at Chittick School. Our cook is Carol Palumbo, head cook at Down Monroe School, and we're going to show you how to prepare fruit for a luxurious gourmet dessert. Fruit adds vitamin and minerals to the diet and provides a special sweet treat without the refined sugar that we should try to avoid. We're very fortunate in this country to have a good supply of fruit all year long. And tonight, we're featuring fruits that are available during the winter months. We're going to start by preparing a dip to be used with the fruit. The ingredients are Cool Whip, instant pistachio pudding, and a little milk. You can also add a splash of amaretto for extra flavor. Now that the dip is prepared, we're going to hull a pineapple and use the shell for a serving bowl for the dip. It's really very easy to hull the pineapple and use it as a bowl. It makes a very attractive feature for your fruit. And the contrasts of color stimulate the appetite. Use the inside of the pineapple. As a structure for your dip, and you're all set. Okay, we've arranged our fruit on a platter, slices of grapefruit, orange, apples, pears, bananas, cantaloupe, kiwi berries, and we've arranged them for color to stimulate the eye as well as the appetite. Now, if you cut apples and pears and bananas before time, just sprinkle a little lemon juice on them, and that will prevent browning. Here's our completed fruit platter, a treat everyone, including children, would like. We're printing the recipe of the dip on the back of our February menu. If you do not receive the menu, please call my office at 257-8300, extension 232, and we'll be happy to send you a copy.
Hi, this is Sharon Karmazin for This Week in East Brunswick. And with me today I have Fran Goodsite, who's the president of the Friends of the Library. She's here to tell us about the 10th annual Friends Bargain Book Sale, which is coming up very soon. Welcome, Fran.
Thank you, Sharon. We're going to be having our book sale this year at the Brunswick Square Mall. It's going to begin on Monday, March 27th at 7 o'clock at night. That's our preview night, and the book sale is going to run through the following Sunday, March 4th.
So you'll have a whole week for book sale this year.
Yes, we will, and we're going to be there the same hours as the mall operates.
Okay, I understand that you're going to be at a new place this year.
Oh, yes, that's important. We're going to be this year at the Penny's Court. In years past, we've been at the Bamberger's Court, but we're to be looked for at the Penny's Court this year.
I see. And can you tell us, is there anything special happening this year? I hear you're having a special drawing.
Oh, yes, we are. We're going to have a drawing for a special prize. It's anybody who fills out cards is going to be entitled to a trivia game, which is very popular this year.
I see, and that hopefully will get people down to the Penny's end of the mall. Can you tell us, do you have a lot of books?
Oh, that we have. We have thousands of books, fantastic bargains for anybody who comes. And we're also going to be having 2 puppet shows.
I see. When are the puppet shows scheduled for?
On Wednesday and Thursday nights.
At what time?
They will be at 7:30, and we're going to have them again at 8 o'clock.
I see. Okay. Can you tell us about how much the books are priced?
The books are priced anywhere from 50 cents up to $3.50 for the very special pretty new fiction books.
So people can really get some recent bestsellers when they come down?
Oh, absolutely.
Are there
yes.
encyclopedia sets this year?
We do. We have many reference sets, very nice ones.
Can you tell us where the Friends get most of their books from?
All our books come from donations from people in East Brunswick and surrounding towns. They come in all year, and they're priced by our workers and sorted out into various categories and brought over to the book sale.
I see. And are there books for children too?
Oh, how can I forget that? We have fantastic books for children, wonderful selection this year.
Okay, and you also do get books from the library.
Oh,
That's
yes.
something we should mention too, I
Yes,
guess.
we do. We get many, many library discards, very nice ones also.
Okay, well, do you want to make sure people know the dates again? Give them the dates one more time.
Okay, our preview night is Monday, February 27th at 7 p.m., and we are going to be there through the following Sunday, March 4th at 5 p.m.
Okay, well, Fran, I thank you very much for being here. I know you were a little nervous, but it's always nice to have you here, and of course you know how much the library appreciates everything the Friends does for us. Until next time, this is Sharon Karmazin for This Week in East Brunswick. Coming up next, Consumer Aware.
Hello, welcome to Consumer Aware. Today we're going to talk about winning a vacation. Some of us have already, some of us would love to. But what I want you to be aware of is vacation certificates. They can come in the mail to you, or they can come via telephone. Gift vacation for 2. Deluxe accommodations. Sounds good, and it just might be too good. People have traveled as far as Las Vegas on one of these vacations, and when they get there, they don't have any reservations. Some certificates are even counterfeit. The promoters rake in the money, and then they close up and go out of business overnight. Usually when you win one of these vacations, you are asked to send somewhere between $15 and $25 as a deposit. Some promoters make it so difficult for you to use this certificate, and they do this by repeatedly refusing your request for a particular vacation time. And in this way, they hope that you will get tired of calling them and forget about it. Some of the unpleasant surprises that might be in store for you winning one of these vacations is most times you have to pay your own travel costs and your own meal plans. So for instance, you could be told that you want a trip to Las Vegas or to Reno. However, you must pay your own transportation and your own meals. Well, it's very possible that a room in one of these places would only cost $40, but your airfare alone is $350, and that doesn't even include your meals. So all you are really winning, if in fact you are, is that $40 motel room. Before you fly off to this free vacation, there are a couple of things that you can do. One, request the name of the hotel that you are supposedly going to stay at. Cable them to find out if in fact you even have a room. Find out how much money it is going to cost you up front to even win this vacation. Personally confirm all reservations. One good way to check is you can contact the Consumer Affairs Office or the Attorney General's office in the state to where you should be going. Ask them about the promoter or the company that has issued you this free vacation. Remember, check thoroughly before you take this so-called free vacation. It could cost you not only a lot of time and heartache, but an awful lot of money. You can call our office if you receive one of these in the mail or if you receive it via telephone, and we in fact will call ahead for you to see if it is a legitimate prize. Thanks so much for tuning in again today, and we sure hope to see you again next week.
At Monday's Township Council agenda session, planning of township roadways and new housing was the major topic. Engineer Bill Tanner presented a revised Route 18 plan designed to improve traffic flow.
One of the primary goals and one of the major driving forces of our plan on Route 18 is the elimination of traffic lights. What we're trying to do is speed up the corridor to make the traffic move a little better, both from a air pollution standpoint, from a commercial standpoint. People don't like shopping Route 18 if you're stuck in traffic all day. The more you're stuck in traffic, the more air pollution. The more air pollution, also there's a rise in noise pollution. So by freeing up the corridor, we're accomplishing many goals. This is all set forth and has been discussed many times before in the economic health plan and in other studies we've done on individual intersections. The idea is to eliminate traffic lights where you can safely eliminate them. One of our problems with eliminating all the traffic lights is we have a lot of side roads coming in. If you eliminate all the traffic lights, you eliminate the gaps in the traffic, then you cannot get out onto Route 18 in some of these areas. And that's one of the problems we have to address in the next phase of the study, which actually gets down to looking at which ones we can physically remove and which ones we will have to leave in place. Right now,
the current plan calls for removal of traffic lights at Route 18 in Eggers Lane and at Route 18 and Edgeboro Road, replacing the latter with access via an overpass. The plan to convert the Turnpike Drive-In to a 60-acre complex of condominiums, offices, and stores met with criticism from Councilman O'Connor, whose chief complaint was the possibility of increased traffic on Route 18. Township Attorney Bertram Bush announced that East Brunswick is close to a settlement on its Mount Laurel II case concerning the amount of low- and middle-income housing in town. And on Wednesday, Mayor William Fox announced that he will once again be a candidate for mayor. That's all for this week in East Brunswick. Thanks for watching.